So, this is where we left. Second turn of the 10-headed Hydra challenge game. Mayon's turn, and this is his row. What would I do? I would probably go for Boudica and do the standard things. Take Boudica, elect, build a mine, and populate. Now you can also go for Caesar. There's two heroes that don't like Caesar sitting in the front. I wouldn't personally do it. Thing about Caesar is it's quite gambly. It can work out well and can work out bad. Depends on what you draw. And even let's say you draw some strength events, you aren't guaranteed to win them. It's a little random how H1 unfolds. Who gets the Barbarossa, who gets the Chichka, who gets the Nostradamus, if you win them or not. I tend to believe that the best case with Caesar is being able to draw an event every turn, but it not being strength events. Like this, you have a lot of control about what's going on here without having the downside of, possibly losing those strength events. Plus, the opponents have to respect the possibility of there being strength events. Yeah, overall, Caesar is quite gambly. And it's fun, so go ahead, go ham with Caesar, it's fun. I also do it from time to time, but if I would be in tryhard mode, I would not recommend taking Caesar here. Would take Boudica. Ashoka is also an option. I think Boudica is more stable than Ashoka. The downside with Boudica is somewhat in 3-player games. She only one guy has to be stronger for her to trigger the military rocks effect. The upside is that this effect isn't that bad, but you don't want to have it triggered in turns where you can't build military. Then it's really bad. Let's see what he does. Caesar or Boudica. So he goes with Caesar. Interesting. Yeah, one more reason for us to... Oh, no, I clicked too far, but that's probably not a big surprise. Yeah, one more reason for us to look out for not being the weakest when using Confucius. So, Weidenbaum, very unsurprisingly elected Hammurabi, and I would guess that they will also choose to build the philosophy now. And then, yeah, it's open to debate. You can argue for Colossus being good with the Suez Canal in, has some synergy with Eleanor, Isabella, Cook. So that's an option. So what do we have? 1, 2, populate 3 possibly, and then he has 2 left. Or not populate and take a card from 3. That's not the best cards to take from 3. There are quite some cards I'm willing to take for 3, especially with Hammurabi. That's like Iron, Alchemy, in some cases Code of Laws. In 2-player, it's more likely that I'm willing to pay 3 civil actions for Code of Laws. In 3-player, it's more likely that I'm willing to pay 3 civil actions, even without Hammurabi, actually, for very early Iron or Alchemy. But here, not really a card you want to pay 3 civil actions on. It's kind of awkward this turn for them. So even if they take the Colossus, they end up taking it. That would be the third action. So elect, build philosophy, no, fourth action, right? No, yes. Populate, take Colossus and take the Frugality. Feels kind of natural. There's nothing on 2, so you don't want to be spending 2 civil actions for any of these. Yeah, could argue for not populating, just go for the Great Wall, but I discussed it last turn. Great Wall first isn't bad, but maybe not the preferred wonder. I think in this scenario I would prefer the Colossus into normal H1 wonder after the HA wonder. No, you could also go for Hanging Gardens. There's no Michelangelo. And Hanging Gardens, same as Great Wall, is quite susceptible to the ravages of time, or your civilization becomes quite susceptible to it, since you rely on the happy faces, otherwise the wonder makes no sense. And then if they are gone, you can have a lot of problems. Yeah. I would guess Colossus in the standard turn. But Colossus, there is a universe where I imagine that someone says no, the bronze first is still correct. I want the bronze. So maybe one of those guys said, screw this philosophy. I'm not going to build philosophy now. I wanted the rich land and I want to build this bronze first. Maybe that ends up happening, but the most likely thing is, I think, is yes, philosophy, populate, Colossus Frugality. Let's see. Colossus, Grove, populate Frugality. Yes, nailed it. I wonder how many versions they had in this turn. All right, and now my turn. This is so good for me. Many things are good for me here. So I'm looking at one of those warfares. Possibly. Yeah, but I don't think I'm ending up to... I'm willing to pay 2 civil actions for it. And I wouldn't assume that both are gone. Next turn. It's probably also just the population. There can be double events. So 3 warriors, valuable here. 3 religion, always valuable. And then just the yellow card, which is urban growth. Now, card row manipulation wise, it makes no difference between urban growth and frugality. So yeah, I would love the both copies of Warfare to remain here. I don't think the Caesar wants to take this Warfare turn 1. It might happen. It might happen that both are gone, but I mean, yeah, Warfare is not a bad card, but also not like so important. I just like it here against the Caesar with Confucius, who has extra science income. But I'm not willing to pay 2 civil actions here for that, for missing out on the civil action to populate. And yeah, the yellow card's not such a strong argument. It's not so important, but it's still overall a little better, I think, to populate and then take yellow. And the good things are here. No one will take this university away from me. I will have it on 1, presumably even. I always have to count these things in 3 and 4 player. In 2 player, I know exactly what will happen with the card row, and in 3 and 4 player, I always have to count. So it will be 2, 4, 6, and then I already took 1 card, and yeah, they have to take 1 card from the row, and it will be on 1, which will happen, I'm pretty certain. And then I'm wondering what happens to this printing press. Now they don't have this option. I mean, maybe they never wanted to have this option, but I think in this setup, I forgot to mention DaVinci last time. It's also very good with printing press. You build 1 printing press and you're already at 4 signs income. With 2 printing presses at 4 signs income. 1 printing press and 3 signs income, so extra value with that. And then there's just Shakespeare and Darwin. Hollywood later on. I think it's a good printing press game, even for a 3-player game, even with Caesar in front. As I said, Caesar in front is just a randomizer. You shouldn't. I think I did that mistake once in a very important World Championship game against Genghis, where he took the Caesar in the 2-player game in front and he seeded every turn, maybe even twice. And then I went all in defending possible strength events, and then there were no strength events, and he could play his civilization more. He also contested the strength, but he could do it in a more efficient way, and I ended up being very far behind after mid H2 for this reason. Was still kind of close, but that was, I think, the reason I lost. Yeah, I think that's it for this turn. Early turns don't have that many options, so it's rather short, but still some things to discuss and consider here. Yeah, I would look forward to you guys participating in the sense that you can tell me in the comments, or maybe we set up a Discord channel what you would have done, what general plans could be, what you think about turns. Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun if the entire community is participating in this game. And that's why I have an agreement already with Weidenbaum that I'm allowed to do these videos from his side, and now he only needs to get everyone on board. That means have this agreement with everyone in the game not to watch these videos, since starting now we will get hidden information that we can't share, sadly. And yeah, I think it will be a lot of fun if everyone is on board. Okay, that's it for this turn. I press end turn. We can see what happens with the row and the card draw, but I will, yeah, maybe we'll still shortly discuss these, but I think it makes more sense next turn, yeah. It's a nice draw. Tactic already. I might consider a great wall, but someone was lurking. Okay, he had an event. This took like 2 seconds or what? If even. Okay, trade routes. Apparently only 1. Okay. So yeah, see you in the next video, guys. It's time to consider a pact. Going back for this. Let's see. Yeah, with his second action, he offers me the naval trade agreement, and I politely decline this. Yeah, the issue is it's so far in the back, but maybe I have to think about it for a second, since my initial reaction was that this is not such a bad draw, but it's actually not that great, because I don't really want to cede the tactic. I want to keep it. And I also don't really want to cede the wealthy territory against the Colossus. And this might enable that. The problem I have with this pact is it enables him to do some turns, where he avoids corruption. It's very convenient to play with this, and I would have to now calculate my next turn at least, but better my next 2 turns, whether I need this blue token or not. And I'm not willing to do that. I'm not really willing to do that. At least not in 2 turns. Like the next turn. Yeah, there's so many ifs, then there will be other events revealed, and there's so many ifs, it makes it really complicated. I really hate to accept it. I'm gonna reject it. I'm gonna reject that. Yes. Yeah, I hope the recording worked fine. And that's been the quick interlude. See you next time.